Hey everybody, Aaron here from Comic Booked. It seems like every time I start a new video, I've got a little more wall and a little less space, so that's good. Um, this week I'm going over Dark Crisis. This will be month two, so technically month three, but month two, July of 2022, all the books that came out for Dark Crisis in that period. So we'll start out with Dark Crisis 2. This is DC Comics' big event for the summer and really from like May of this year through the end of December. The seventh issue just came out this past Wednesday, so I'll be reviewing that in a few days when I get through those. But for now, we'll talk about Dark Crisis number 2, and this is really all about the Titans because the Justice League is dead, right? They died in Justice League 75, and then in Dark Crisis number 1, I kind of went over that whole thing again, where they died. Pariah blasted them into oblivion, but we find out in the first Dark Crisis World Without a Justice League book of what really happened to all of the members of the Justice League. So first off, Dark Crisis, at the end of Dark Crisis number 1, and then Young Justice, Dark Crisis Young Justice, we found out that Slade, Deathstroke, and all of his baddies, the Secret Society, or whatever they call themselves, they attacked Titan's Tower and blew it up. And so we're like, everybody's dead. Well, we know they're not all dead, but we do know that he pretty much shot Beast Boy in the head. So it kind of started out almost like an episode from, or like the books back when Infinite Crisis was getting started, when Max Lord shot Ted Kord in the head and kind of kicked off that whole story. Anyway, reminisce about the old days. So Dark Crisis number 2, this is really the fallout from the destruction of the tower. Nightwing's still alive. The other Titans are getting together, trying to, figure out what's going on, and Slade and his guys come in. Slade and Nightwing duke it out, and Nightwing, pretty much solidly beats him. Then Slade proceeds to shoot Nightwing. Of course, Superman, John, jumps in and blocks the shot, and then goes to fight them. But the darkness says, I want you, that kind of thing. And Pariah tells Slade, okay, wait, I need the superheroes. So we don't know why yet, but he needs the superheroes. Don't kill him, just come back. So Slade kind of, torn between what he wants to do, which is kill all the Titans, and what he has to do, tells Warp to warp him out. So that's kind of the wrap up of what's going on in Dark Crisis issue number 2. So a few other little bitty things, but most of it is that story. So that's what's going on there. All right. Next up, Dark Crisis, World Without a Superman. World Without a Justice League, Superman number 1. So this covers Superman, and this is Superboy, who really looks like a Robin character, right? Now, obviously, Clark and John and Lois all live on the farm, and Clark really is kind of standoffish about leaving Earth at all to help out in space at all. So in this world, we find Clark and John duking it out with all of the villains on Earth, protecting the Earth, and that's pretty much it. In the inside, the very first page of this, we find out that Pariah didn't kill the Justice League. He just placed each of them kind of encapsulated them into a world, a dark world, and he's holding them there, keeping them hostage or keeping them captured, until whatever his plan is that comes out. So this is the first we've heard about that. So each one of the World Without a Justice League books talks about which world they're in. So this one covers Superman. Pretty good story. In the end, John decides to go off into space because he goes off into space once, and Orion beats the crap out of him. Clark stops him, brings him back to Earth, tells him, "Now you violated a treaty. You can't do this." And John says, "No, I can't hear these people screaming. I have to go out and fight. I have to help them." So in the end, he does. He leaves Earth. He decides to go. He wants to go out and fight. He wants to go out and help. And in the end, he comes back and says, I did it. I stopped Orion, but I've got to do more. So anyway, that's kind of where we see that story end so far. Or the Aquaman story is weird. It's like a dream, and he's like dreaming the world, the perfect world where everybody gets along, and all the kids are happy, and everybody's getting he's renewing their vows, and all this weird stuff is going on. But in the end, he wakes up and he's like, "You don't understand. I've been dead before, and I've come back, and you can't stop me, and I will come back again." That kind of thing. So it's interesting. Yeah. Dark Justice. Dark Justice. Might as well just Dark Crisis, Young Justice #2. This talks about the wrath of Wonder Girl. I don't. That's very misleading. Basically, Cassie and Sissy are kind of talking, and I still can't tell if that's in the regular world, and they're looking for everybody, or that's in the world where the rest of the crew, Robin and Superboy and Impulse are. And anyway, they're she's like, "You want to become Arrowette again?" She says, "No, I want to. I can use my archery to get into college." And she's like, "College? You never thought about college before?" There's just some weird things. So they must all be in this world together, but it's not real clear. So the boys understand something's going on, and they're trying to figure out what it is. But in the end, it's kind of like the Justice League is here, and they all seem normal, and everything seems good, but there's something still just picking away at them. So they understand that this world's not quite what it's supposed to be, but they can't figure out why. So it's interesting. Hopefully next issue we find out some more. This one was pretty good. This is Flash 784. Now, I did miss 783. That was the first Dark Crisis tie-in. I didn't see what's going on, but it looks like the speedsters are traveling all over the different worlds trying to find Barry, because they think if they find Barry Allen, they can figure out what's going on, because they think it's some kind of Flashpoint thing. They don't know for sure. You can see on the cover Pariah in the background there, shattered and shatting through the different dimensions, and you've got the two Flashes. Looks like they're duking it out, right? So in the beginning, you've got kind of a Mad Max Road Warrior world. Terra Mungus, is the leader, and the Flash of that world is fighting back against the evil Terra Mungus, trying to take her fuel or whatever it is. So it's kind of funny. Jesse Quick and somebody else, I can't remember his name. They show up in that world, and they're like, "Oops, wrong world. Okay, well, good for you." And then they take off the hill. They're like, "We hope everybody else is doing okay." We cut to another world with a dark Batman Flash character, not the Red Death, which we've seen in the Batman Who Laughs, that whole dark metal thing, but this is the Night Flash, and it's like a Batman Flash character. It's kind of interesting, but very, very dark, very grim. So that's not the world they want. So then we've got Wally and Bart in another world, and they're looking down, and they're like, "Well, there's Barry," but it's kind of a cartoony, pulpy world. Like you see and they did it to the Spider-Man too, where it's a world where there's dots in the picture, so you can kind of see the artwork, like it's cartoony, old school Flash comic, that kind of thing. So Wally goes to confront Barry and go, "Hey, Barry," and Barry sees him as Thawne, the Reverse Flash, and just they start duking it out. So there's not really an answer there, but then Bart goes to the home, to where they live, and Wally's there, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Wally, where's your suit?" And he's like, I'm retired. Come on in, everybody's here." And he's like, "What?" And they go in, and all of a sudden Bart's in his different suit, the silver and red, and he goes in, and they're all sitting down at the table having dinner, and it's everybody who they've lost in the past. So it's kind of this world again that Pariah has created for them to lock them in and make them believe that this is where they should be. So getting good. The Dark Crisis has been pretty good so far. Still not quite seeing all of Pariah's plan, but of course it's only the second issue of Dark Crisis, but we'll see what happens as the rest of the 5 issues unfold. I will read the next set and bring you a quick summary for what's going on for the month of August, and then we'll talk about that. So please leave some likes, some shares, some comments. Just do all that good stuff. Just trying to build up the channel again. We had some time off there where our owner was out, and we really kind of lost track of time as far as that goes with the site. So coming back, hopefully next time you see me, I'll have a little more wall over here and a little more structure behind me, but a little better. I got this wall over here all put together, and then the wall behind, there's a piece that slides over this way, sorry. And then we'll see how that goes. But yeah, DC Comics, big event this year, 2022, Dark Crisis. Let me know what you think, and we'll have more for you in the next episode. Thanks.